All right, so Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, which is the first movie of a 3-part trilogy to end out the series of Demon Slayer, is breaking records. Records that Demon Slayer already set. Now, this is pretty crazy. This is from Deadline, but we're going to go over some other articles here in just a second. We're going to read what they have to say. This is insane. Notably, some of the above titles have yet to open in Japan. So they're talking about like F1, How to Train Your Dragon, having dated out of the way. So think about this. These other films, these Hollywood films, are moving out of the way of Demon Slayer and giving them the runway. This is the massively anticipated latest in the Demon Slayer franchise, while getting reliable grosses out of Japan is this early. Particularly, this is a 4-day weekend with Monday as a holiday. We are hearing estimates as high as 5.9 billion yen, or $39.7 million, and its ComScore has it at 36.5 million. This is insane. This is insane. It goes on to say, we do know that the movie opened to an all-time high IMAX record in Japan of 3 million. That's better than any Hollywood or local title and includes an IMAX opening day Friday record. That estimated 4-day total is 3.5 million in IMAX. And just so you know, I actually saw Mugen Train, I think maybe in IMAX, or maybe that was something else. The first Danana movie, I don't know. It was amazing though. It was amazing. Man, this is just insane. And this is not it. The fact that it's like it's even in the conversation with like Superman and Jurassic World and F1. These are all really big Hollywood films. It's crazy. So over on Forbes, Paul Tassi, who, by the way, makes some really great Destiny content, says Demon Slayer Infinity Castle breaks box office record on release day. This is crazy. Guys, this is actually insane. Infinity Castle reportedly made 1.7 billion yen in its first day of release, passing up Mugen Train's 1.2 billion yen recorded at the Japanese box office. Now, as a few hours ago, it has surpassed 3 billion yen, and the weekend has barely started. This shows that, I think, in my opinion, people clearly just hate Demon Slayer because it is the most popular thing. I mean, that is clearly what is going on. As you guys know, I used to be on that train, that Mugen train, so to speak, where I thought Demon Slayer was overhyped and it wasn't that great. Thankfully, I think that was mostly just because season 1, in my opinion, is one of the weaker seasons. Like, I literally think every other season of Demon Slayer is better than season 1, just as a whole. And I think that's just because it was the introductory kind of season to Demon Slayer. It was 24 episodes, so it was kind of a little long in the tooth, whereas the other seasons have been very, very short, and the arcs much, much shorter. But this is crazy. This is crazy. Listen to what Paul has to say here. The release of Demon Slayer Mugen Train back in 2020 was hugely profitable. Even during the height of the pandemic, the movie made 485 million worldwide in its box office run, a rare around 85-15 international domestic split. If we want to do a very rough estimate about how Infinity Castle might perform given the first day increase of 40%, that could mean closer to a $700 million global haul. Wow, that's crazy. That is insane. But Paul goes on to kind of temper some expectations. He says it's worth noting that some of Japanese figures could be due to how the yen is getting weaker over time, so it's not possible to directly compare, perhaps in that context. And by the way, these are some of the release dates in the USA. Friday, September 12th. I will be at my theater on September 12th, along with all of the other weebs. And here are the other dates for anyone. And if you're in Japan, definitely go check it out. It's out right now. Go check it out. And it seems all these other countries are following suit in order. So hopefully I will be able to go see this film in the USA and things are not burning down. But that's not all. That isn't the only article we have. Actually, we have something from CBR here. Midnight Madness, Demon Slayer's new Infinity Castle anime movie, debuts to sold-out screenings and dawn lineups. This is just... seeing all of these articles about how Ufotable and how Demon Slayer as a whole is literally just taking over movies. In my opinion, I think we're going to see more Demon Slayer after this series ends. I think there's a large potential we may not even see the manga return in some way, but I do think in some way, I think the way that Sony and Aniplex and how money grubbing they are, like how could you look at this 1.34 million USD upon its opening and not think this is really big? Like this is like zeitgeist big. Demon Slayer, just for some reason, this is the series that just will not die. And it only gets better with time. This series, people say it's the most overrated stuff you can ever watch. It's not that great. In my opinion, I disagree. I think the first season is its weakest. It's probably like a 7 out of 10 for season 1, but everything else is like either anywhere from an 8 to a 10 in my opinion. I thought the Entertainment District arc was probably like a 9. Swordsmith was probably like a 9.5 or even a 10. I would even say the most recent arc, which people said is the weakest, which is the Hashira training. I think that's like an 8. Like it's very good, and I even think the additions they brought to the anime that weren't in the manga were even made the story even better. So that isn't all though. Here's something really crazy. Demon Slayer's new movie was in production way longer than you think. According to behind-the-scenes details shared with fans in celebration of the new movie's release, Infinity Castle Chapter 1, get this, has been in development for 3.5 years! It was apparently decided by the team that after the release of Mugen Train, that Infinity Castle would be a theatrical trilogy as well. That shows as well, in my opinion, how strong the production of Demon Slayer and Ufotable is, how unified they are to years in advance know what they want to do. I mean, we saw with Mappa and Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man Season 1 was supposed to be 24 episodes. They had to cut that down to 12. They turned the Rize Bomb Girl arc into a movie, which I think was probably the right choice in hindsight, but just goes to show how Ufotable, despite all the memes about them and how they're like, tax evasion works or whatever, and the Fate Studio or whatever, like they have clearly broken the mold here, and I think Ufotable is definitely, in terms of shonen, just an unstoppable force. And in my opinion, they could even become as important as Kyoto Animation, if they're not already. But this production schedule for the first film, coupled with the demands of the also ongoing TV anime, certainly paint a picture of how big of a franchise Demon Slayer has become for Ufotable over the years. This just goes to show, once again, people will complain up and down all over the internet about how this and that popular thing is horrible and it's whatever. But clearly people love it. Clearly the people that are going against the grain just because it's cool to hate are in a vast vocal minority. And it feels so good as a content creator that loves Demon Slayer and realize the error of my ways and gets comments for years and years to this very day on my Demon Slayer videos about how horrible it's this and that, and how like the new whatever the thing that's coming out after Demon Slayer is going to make Demon Slayer fans cry or whatever, when in reality I guarantee you those Demon Slayer fans are the same type of fans that watch all this other stuff as well. The fact that this is so popular, this series is making so much money, is such a good thing for the anime industry as a whole, because it is a series with a lot of heart. It is a series with a lot of passion. Clearly, the production for Demon Slayer is much better than what we're seeing over with things like Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 or Chainsaw Man Season 1. And don't get me wrong, I love Mappa. I'm not a Mappa hater. I think Mappa gets way too much hate. Did you notice there's a trend? A lot of people just want to see them be burned down and destroyed, and then go on the internet and proclaim how we're all cooked and doomed. It's just great, as a content creator who is passionate for Demon Slayer to the nth degree. I don't think you'll find someone more passionate than me, in my opinion. All the series that I cover, I feel that way. I'm more passionate for Chainsaw Man, in my opinion, than most other people. Same for Demon Slayer, same for Attack on Titan, same for Dawn to Dawn. I have channels all dedicated to these series, and it feels nice to know that my dedication to these series are paying off in some way, and people are noticing these things. It's a very nice feeling to know that me blabbering into a microphone every week about how Demon Slayer is much better than people think it is, and that all the hate is just super duper unjustified, feels nice. Feels really nice. Also, how about that Superman movie? I haven't seen it yet, but tell me in the comments below if it's any good. I'm gonna go see it over the weekend, hopefully. I may hate it, may love it, I don't know. I like James Gunn, though. He's a pretty good guy. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go be seeing Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1 in theaters, and I think clearly you guys should too. It is an event. It is something nice to get out of your head for a moment, go out into the real world and experience something nice and happy for once, because Jesus, we need it right now, man. We desperately need it.